We're all getting fried to bits. I would love to be able to sit at the computer and show you all sorts of things. However, I'm having issues with things, and I'm going to share what's going on with me right now. This is not just a problem here at our house, I know, because people are sick in our area in general right now. Dave's never had anyone call off work because they're sick, and it's happening right now. And I do have a tendency to take a while sometimes to post some videos. Sometimes some videos it's literally taking me a year to post them because I am EMF sensitive, and so I have to be very intentional about my use of technology. And of course everything's wired, but that doesn't mean that there aren't any fields. I didn't bring my meters in here, which I should have done, but oh well. I have an acoustic, I'll link to my post on the website as to the meters that I have, and it probably would be better getting the newer one that incorporates basically the 2 meters if you're looking to save money. But if you aren't really looking to save money, then I would get 2 meters because it's better to have one for radio frequencies and one for magnetic and electrical fields. So what's happening here in our house, it actually just started last weekend, this past weekend, and I am going to upload this very quickly. We just got fried. We just got slammed with frequencies here, and it's empirically detectable. The change is palpable in the air. You can see it in the animals, you can see it in the plants too. Wow, we seriously got slammed this past weekend. So bad, so bad. Okay. It's a little bit electrical, it's some electrical, but not a lot. In electrical fields, it's mostly magnetic fields. Now, I am, in a way, a targeted individual, and in a way, I'm not a targeted individual. If you go, I'll try to remember to link to the post on the website. I've got 3 videos from a gentleman who, his curriculum vitae is like this long. You know, he's worked with DARPA. He lectures at US military seminars. He contracts with the United Nations, and or maybe it's the European Union, I don't remember which. I mean, he's a professor, obviously has written books. He is the guy, okay? And he is lecturing in a video, and he's basically trying to garner consent for targeting people, okay? And so if anyone has authority to speak on it, it's him. And if you just listen to what he's saying, that's targeted individuals, okay? That is what it is. So we've got an old video on how we are and how we are not targeted individuals here. This house for sure is. It didn't used to be, but it for sure is. And of course, when it comes to the faith-related content, there's not really anybody else who's doing what I do with sharing that content. And that is a risk to the power of the Prince of the Air. The air. The air. So I don't have the cognitive impact that a lot of target individuals have. They're not messing with my mind. You know, I'm not having that sort of issue. And I haven't. But I've got great power. I've got sound mind. You know, I'm studying scripture. I've got it open to Mark over there, right there. That is the only protection that you can have. I gotta say it. This isn't faith-based, or this isn't faith-focused, but I can't discuss these topics without saying that's the only way that I'm not getting thoughts, you know, from wherever and entertaining them, because I know that I have control. I have the power of the Creator within my noggin. So if I have that power within me, then I get to decide what I think on. I get to decide whether I have nightmares or not. I get to decide these things. and no one else. So as some of you who have been with us, if you're new, welcome. So some of you who have been with us are aware that I have been doing research in recent months into a variety of topics, of course with the intent of understanding how to come up with solutions. And so I'm going to share solutions in this discussion, but I've also got tons of videos and articles posted as well to help you as well if you're concerned about EMFs. So let's go to our website. So how am I targeted? How has my thought on this changed? Well, I'm recording this right now in 2024. It's November something or another. I don't know, the 11th maybe. And early this year, I think it was January, we started having radio frequencies in that corner on the north side of our house entering the home. Okay. So I had symptoms, and then I got my meter out, and oh yeah, there's a little bit of radio frequency there. I'm super sensitive to radio frequencies. That's ridiculous. So I grabbed some of the aluminum screen, the window screen, got rolls of it. I grabbed some of that and I put that up there. Okay, my meter says we're good. My body says we're good. Okay, a week goes by. I walk out in the kitchen, I have basically a heart attack. It's basically what it is. Again. And so I was like, wait, I already took care of this. What the heck? And so I grabbed my meter. Lo and behold, the signal had changed from there to there. Okay. So I go out, put another, layer right next to it. Okay. All better. Week goes by. Same thing again. Chest pain, heart palpitations. I pull my meter out, and guess what? The technology had moved again, shifted the aim again. That happened 4 times, and now we're on the 5th time because I should have just put it all the way across, but I didn't. So the north side of our house is very protected from weather. I'm not concerned about moisture getting trapped there. So until we get our aluminum siding up, then it'll be fine there. Because it really doesn't get rained on there. There's not really any wind from that direction or anything. So the technology definitely, if the technology was as intelligent as we're told, then it would have immediately responded and changed the trajectory of the radio frequency aim. And yes, I know specifically what it's coming from. It's coming from a broadband coupler up the road. We're in the middle of 6 acres, We're way back here. There's trees. But they cranked up the frequencies and they changed them. Somehow they're able to aim. I don't know why my nose is itchy. Sorry. Somehow they were able to aim the broadband coupler. I don't know. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they do it. I don't know. I don't pretend to know. But my meters say what they say. My body says what it says. So I got to go out probably tomorrow, maybe today if I have time, and go put another layer up because now it's in the bathroom. All the way across. It's only 25, no wait. That side of the house is only 20 feet wide, but it's going all the way across. Anyways, so there's that. And once I had the kitchen completely, I'm in the kitchen a ton. Once I had the kitchen completely shielded, again, a week went by, and then magnetic field entered the kitchen. And I did a video on how I was reducing the magnetic field in the kitchen earlier this year. That's posted online. So the technology is changing. I think there's actually a person, like it's an email or something. It says, uh-oh, we got to keep frying Leanna. Just ridiculous. It's just insane. But like I said, I don't have, the crazy thoughts and that sort of thing that, I'm not saying you're crazy if you have those. If you're a targeted individual and you have those thoughts, I'm not saying you're crazy. I'm just saying that's how I am and how I'm not, impacted. But this past weekend, electrical fields and magnetic fields ramped up. We do have broadband here, and broadband is part of their dual purpose weapon system. Yay! So once broadband was available here, AT&T cut us off. Landline gone, DSL gone overnight. They're like, oh, you have access to broadband now. You're done. And it actually took me 6 months of calling almost every day in order to get a landline connection installed here. And the guys that came out, the maintenance guys who came out, etc., said, you just had this draw put in. How did you get it done? You must know somebody. I said, no, I just called almost every day for 6 months. They're phasing out landlines. It's legal here in Indiana. It's legal in a lot of states. So they want you to have a cell phone. They want you to have a slave device, a prison phone, completely part of the technology. I went out recently, or this week, trying to figure out, okay, what's better? Where is it better? The magnetic fields are just so bad, you guys. They're so bad. Obviously, some areas are worse. So I went, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, walking around, trying to figure out, yeah, they're definitely coming up from up north. They're definitely coming from the broadband coupler still. And I believe also the power lines. It's also a broadband line up there. Because they're worse on the they're worse outside than inside, which tells me, you know, something very important, that our wiring is still good. We did have the metal clad wiring installed by a really wonderful electrician. His focus in his work was on commercial electrical, so I just really lucked out with him. He's a real good guy. Anyways, about on our front porch, the fields are about the same. On our back porch, our deck, where it's actually more accessible, I guess you'd say, to the broadband coupler and the electrical lines, the fields are worse. I hope this is making sense in this video, because I had a migraine yesterday. I'm not really feeling the best, but I wanted to share with you guys what's going on and what my plan is, because I know that others are having these same issues, and I want you to have hope and feel empowered that there are tools and strategies that you can use to mitigate your exposure. So I'm going to be sharing what I'm doing as well. Now, these magnetic fields are pulsed. If I look at my meter, which again I didn't bring in here, it's clearly pulsed. Pulsed non-native EMFs are far more harmful than just straight field of non-native EMFs. Yay. Anyways, so the fields are lower on this side than that side, so I considered swapping, basically, I don't know if you'd call it our great room, but it's got our bedroom, it's our bedroom and our living room, it's everything in there. I considered swapping that, but that wouldn't really work. So, I mean, sometimes you just, you know, if you are struggling with your health, sometimes you just got to sleep where you can sleep, you know. Sometimes that means a floor. You know, don't feel bad about that. If you're EMF sensitive or chemically sensitive and you got to sleep somewhere else, don't feel bad about that. And if your spouse is mad about it, then too bad. You have to take care of yourself. Obviously, you need to maintain your marriage, but at the same time, you have to take care of yourself as well. Of course, my husband is he just wants me to feel better, that's all. We say, what's the phrase that we say? Oh yeah, I say to him, you're making a living. I'm just trying to live. That's basically the truth. I should have looked this up first. There are these things that people put in the ground. I can't remember what they're called. They say, I think they're called chem busters maybe or something. I need to look into them and see. I mean, I'm very skeptical of them. Don't misunderstand me here. I'm extremely skeptical of pretty much everything. I'm very skeptical, but I need to look into them and see if anyone claims that they reduce magnetic fields. Because if they do, then it might be worth, you know, over the winter building that and seeing if it works to maybe collect the magnetic fields or something. I don't know. Can't remember what they're called. If you remember, please please send me an email, because I'm not able to monitor comments, but leave a comment below for somebody else as well. That'd be great. Another problem is at our wood desk. Dave was well, okay, so we don't have a wood desk. I need to build a wood desk. It's a metal and glass desk, and there aren't any radio frequency. There's a little bit of radio frequency on my Acousticom in our house now that wasn't on there before, but it's not detectable on the meter. Like if you look at the meter, it says nothing. But if you press the button so that you can have sound, you can hear a little bit of it. And so there's a tiny bit there, it's just not high enough for it to light up the meter yet. So there's a little bit there, and that was being attracted just not everywhere that I put the desk, but where it's at, where is kind of where it needs to be right now. It was, the desk itself was picking up fields. Actually, it wasn't, I don't remember. I think it may have been magnetic field. I don't remember what fields the desk was picking up. The desk was picking up some sort of fields, non-native EMS wise. So I need to build a wood desk. Earlier this year, I think it was February, we swapped out our metal desk chair and built a wood one. Anna White has a lot of wood projects on there. Also, the keyboard, our keyboard that we've used for quite some time, the frequencies from that just through the roof. So I swapped out our keyboard for a different keyboard. I will link to that one below. I use, obviously, of course, a wired keyboard. I suspect that the older keyboards from, say, you know, the early 2000s probably have lower EMF fields, but I don't know, and I can't test them because in behind those keypads is natural rubber latex, and that was why my fingers itched for so many years after using the keyboard. So I have to use a mechanical keyboard, and it could be that mechanical keyboards are higher in non-native EMFs. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I can't test it. So there's that. And then also one thing that really surprised me when I was turning things on and off and going here and there and using my meters and figuring out, okay, whoa, our speakers, we have external speakers for our TV. Our TV is also the mini PC. It's everything. As far as our desk and TV goes. And the speakers are external. They're Logitech speakers, and we've had them for a while, and I mean years, never been a problem, and they've started picking up frequencies that I can hear. And Dave's a little bit hard of hearing from the mowing and landscaping, using loud equipment, but I can hear, and he's recently started hearing it as well. It's picking up frequencies. Just ridiculous. So we have static filters, okay, on our lines. All right. By the way, so we do have dirty electricity filters on our line. It's not dirty electricity, but when I tried turning the speakers off, and the fields on the mouse and the keyboard went down. And I turned it back on, and I went back over to the mouse and the keyboard. Those speakers are adding to the frequencies that are on the mouse and the keyboard quite significantly. So there's another thing that I'm doing. I'm not going to be, unless it's something that I really want to research, I'm not going to be listening to, you know, people's videos and stuff online anymore, because of that, you know, for my health. So there's that. All right. So that's, you know. Oh, but I will, okay. sorry, I do have two backups of the same speaker, so I'm going to try swapping them and see if the fields are lower, because sometimes, you know, you've got the same model and something happens and it gets a little wonky. So I'm going to do that. So our speakers. So I'm going to try different speakers. The refrigerator, our refrigerator. We have an old refrigerator. It's from early 2000s, I believe. It's probably manufactured. And it is now putting out a magnetic field out 25 feet. You guys, our house is 30 feet long. I could not believe it. When it is running, when it's not running, it doesn't put that out. When it's running, it puts out a field 25 feet out. Of course, distance is your friend. 25 feet to the side. No, I'm not going to replace it because that could be worse. And also, refrigerators are expensive, yo. Just couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. So I'm trying to work around and stay out of the kitchen when it's running. I didn't realize it ran so much until I started actually paying attention, but it runs a lot. So there's that. So distance is always your friend with EMFs. The farther you can get, further away you can get, the better. Again, I hope this is all making sense to you guys. I know I'm talking about a lot of things, but there's a lot of things going on and there's a lot of things at play here. So the countertop that's farthest in the kitchen from the refrigerator has just got a bunch of junk on it I need to clean off. It's all my fault. It's got nothing to do with Dave. It's all my mess. It's got a bunch of crap on it. Just need to deal with it. And so I'll then be using that more often. Again, distance is your friend. The distiller also is putting out much stronger magnetic fields. Wow, really strong magnetic fields. I do have a backup distiller though. I'm wondering if maybe I think I'll probably go up and see if swapping the distiller out for a newer one, it's unused anyways. Seeing if that reduces the magnetic field that is emanating from the distiller. Either way, I'm going to move the distiller probably all the way to the end of the kitchen. And I'm having to be very specific as to when I'm in the kitchen. I can't be in the kitchen when the distiller's running hardly at all, more than a minute or two, or I start having symptoms. Oops, sorry. Okay, so that's my protocol. That, if you are a newsletter subscriber, you know that I'm doing a protocol. And I'm going to share about it very soon. Hold on, sorry. Alright, sorry, I gotta do my protocol. And yes, I do set a timer, so I don't forget it. Let's see, is there anything else I'm forgetting? I don't think I'm forgetting any of the other things that we're doing. But yeah, woo. When I went over to the desk the other day, it physically felt like a force field. It was the most bizarre thing ever. It's so weird. I gotta build a wood desk. We've got wood up in our loft. I just gotta build it. And we got screws around here. And I am a perfectly capable woman. The wood chair that I made earlier this year, I finished it with it's called Danish olive oil soap finish or something like that. You can buy stuff and do it, and you're supposed to just use the bubbles, like the soap bubbles. That's not what I do. I use the actual soap. I make my own olive oil liquid soap concentrate, and then I use that, and that works. It's worked great. I'm so happy with it. So I'm gonna do that with the desk too. Okay, so there are lots of things clearly that you can do. I'll try to remember to link to GeoVital below. If I don't link to it, GeoVital has an article posted about magnetic fields and power lines. Yeah, their recommendation, and I agree with it based on my research, is that when it comes to magnetic fields, from power line, well, in this case from broadband coupler as well, I think it's both, control everything else and hope that your body can deal with the rest. Hope that your body can deal with the magnetic fields. So I control what I can control. Like I'm trying to limit my exposure to the refrigerator radiation when it's running, magnetic radiation, obviously. Excuse me. Same thing with the distiller. You know, I'm going to move the distiller farther away, and I'm going to run it at night, and I run it once during the day. We use a lot of distilled water here. Excuse me, now I'm burping from drinking this stuff. Obviously, I'm doing my protocol, which I'm going to be sharing about very soon. I am researching lots of stuff. I'm researching contrails. Seriously? Checkerboard skies, those aren't contrails. The amount of traffic via commercial airliners has not, I don't know, increased by a multiplier of 1,000 in the past 20 years. That's ridiculous. Those aren't contrails. You know, the synthetic biology, if the people who are just doing great, you know, yeah, we got the things, we got that, and we're getting them every year because we got to do our part to save grandma. You know, those sorts of people who think that they're doing great, but oh, they've got this whole list of conditions that have no cause. You know, hey, guess what? What is coming upon the earth? The synthetic biology. The earth right now is being terraformed and crafted for a synthetic life form. Not alien life form, but a synthetic life form. Humans are being made and transformed to be part of the technology, to be part of the Internet of Bodies. Many people already are part of the Internet of Bodies. That's their choice. That's their choice. I have to respect that. Love you if that's your choice. You're gonna hurt yourself and you're gonna regret it in the end, I gotta say. But, you know, we gotta respect people's choices to do so. We are living in a dystopia. I mean, Dave has a lot of trouble driving around at Indiana University campus because everybody's looking at their cell phone. Hardly anybody's looking up. I mean, really, is it really more important to check your Facebook profile page or whatever than it is to make sure that you don't die walking across the street? Because people are literally making the choice. Okay, well, I could die if I don't look up, but I don't want to miss this post on X. I mean, okay, so there's that. The chemicals, which are just in everything, everywhere. Okay, you just can't get away from it. It's for a synthetic life form. It's for a synthetic life form. All right, anyway, so I'm researching that junk. And the nanotechnology, which I know some people are like, oh, the nanotech, no, it's crazy. You know, I don't care. You can believe whatever you want. Yeah, most science, as I have said for years, is junk science. I stopped reading most studies when I realized that I was discarding 90% of studies as junk science. But that doesn't mean that all science is junk science. A lot of it is, yes, but not all of it. Anyways. Oh yeah, another thing that I recently realized in reading some books. So the Heptavax, which I was given as a baby in the early 80s, turns out it was also forced upon the natives in Alaska and in Australia, and both populations in the 80s declared that it was genocide. So that's in my body. Yeah, great, huh? Yeah, super fun. I love learning things like that. How screwed my body is. It's just a miracle I'm alive, guys. If you haven't already, you know, check out my article, How Am I Still Alive? It's a miracle. And that doesn't even address the Heptavax. But I did, it's very, very, very hard to find information about that online. It's almost all been scrubbed. And a lot of it isn't even online anymore. It was taken off the market because it was so dangerous in the 80s. Of course, now it doesn't say that it was taken off the market because it was dangerous. They're just like, oh, we got something better. No, it was taken off the market because people were dying and they were calling out the genocide. Okay, you know, I'm always you know, looking like for, okay, maybe there's another method of shielding or something. I wish that I could say that the pretty rocks and pretty bowls, they're $2,500. Oh, by the way, here's my affiliate link, and I will make $500 if you spend $2,500 on the pretty rocks and a pretty bowl. I wish I could say that they worked, and that it wasn't junk science, and that they weren't scams. But hey, guess what? They're all scams. Guess what? Also, the necklaces, except for shungite. Shungite is not a scam. If you get real shungite. Those necklaces, you know, these companies contact me and say, oh, we've got this science behind us. Okay, great. Show me the science. I want to see the science. That is wonderful. I am so thrilled to see the science that your crap works. Okay. Do they ever send me the science? No, they send me to this page that says, hey, we've got science. Yay, science. Look at these pretty charts. Okay, I don't want the pretty charts. I want the raw data. I want to be able to contact the researchers. I want to be able to ask them questions. I want to be able to, you know, analyze their research methodology. What about the statistics that they use? You know, statistical analysis. Were there outliers? I mean, like all of these things and questions, I need to be able to know. And they won't tell me anything. They just send me to their picture of pretty charts on their website. They won't give me any information, which tells me, oh yeah, they're scams. I don't care if, you know, some so-called doctor, who by the way didn't even actually get a doctoral degree, you know, is saying to go buy them. Because everyone that I've looked at, none of them will give me any science. They just say science, 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 and that's that. Okay, what else am I researching? Methods of shielding. I guess that's all I'm researching. That's all. I also am going to be building us a new mattress soon, and that's going to take me time. So I've got clearly a lot of things to do here. Okay. Just a little thing, just a couple things. Besides what I'm typically doing, consultations probably will remain open. Don't feel bad about asking for stuff. Anyway, so my plan is to work on all of these things, which means that I'm going to get this video up, and then I'm going to get the information up on my new protocol, and I'm going to get that information up on the new protocol very quickly within the next week. And then you may not hear from me for 2 to 4 weeks while I figure out all this other stuff, because this is just crazy. I mean, if I didn't have my meters, I would think that I was insane, I gotta say. But my meters confirm what we experience here, what our cat experiences, our chickens, the plants, the wildlife, everything's just so bad. So I have had one migraine in the past 3 weeks, I think. But before that, I was having, oh, and then like one that wasn't too bad the week before. But before that, I was having 2 migraines a week for a long time. So that is indeed improving, which is very exciting for me. So I will be sharing that protocol soon. Be sure to keep an eye out for it. Sorry this is super long, but I had a lot of things to say, a lot of things to share, a lot of information that I want to be sure that you have access to, and know that you have hope. There are things you can do. You don't have to spend $2,500 on a pretty bowl with pretty rocks in it. There are things that you control what you can, and you know, just let God cover the rest. Whew, all right. Now Toxic out.